Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a great week and doing well. I have a very special video for you all today. It is my honor and privilege to bring you the newest release from Unique Luxury. This is Ocean the Rive. Now, I'd be lying, man. I have been waiting for this fragrance to come out for quite some time, and I've even had my subscribers tell me how good it was because it was released in Europe first. It just made its way over to the United States, and I was able to get a bottle from Unique Luxury. Now, as always, I did pay for this fragrance, and if I ever do get a fragrance for free, I will most certainly put that in the description or just flat out say it in the video that I'm doing it in. Certainly not knocking larger reviewers because they have a lot larger channels than me, make a lot more money in ad revenue and memberships, but there are quite a few larger channels that they won't really state whether they have a relationship with a company, or they'll say it in one video and they'll be like, oh, I told you guys I had a relationship with that company, and it was in one time in one video they did 2 years ago. So unless you saw that video, you don't really know what you're getting. You don't know if you're getting the entire truth. And there are quite a few companies that will send out thousands of dollars of fragrances to some of these larger reviewers. And if they don't mention it, you don't know, and you don't know if you're getting an honest review. So if that does ever happen with me, just know I will put it in the description or flat out say it in the video. That is not the case with this fragrance. I spent my own hard-earned money on it, and now I'm here to give you an honest review. So keep in mind, I've only worn this fragrance twice, but I've worn it 2 days in a row. So I got this Monday. I'm filming this video on a Tuesday evening. I got this Monday at about 3 p.m., picked it up from my local post office. I did not wear a fragrance that day in anticipation of receiving this. Hopefully that's coming through well for you guys on camera there. And of course, Tuesday, today as I'm filming it, I woke up at about 5:30 in the morning, sprayed the fragrance on, gave it a full wearing, and as you know, with pretty much every single Unique Luxury product, amazing longevity, amazing projection, and amazing development. Anything or anybody that has purchased anything from this house or worn anything from this house, that is something that cannot be argued. In fact, the only complaint I pretty much ever hear about Unique Luxury is that some of their fragrances are just too strong, which in that case, spray less. That's the only thing I can say, because I would much rather have the fragrances be too strong than not strong enough. I feel like this is much better value for money. And if you personally just feel a fragrance is too strong, just do like little half sprays or something like that, or maybe one spray on each arm, not even. You don't have to go overkill with it. Now with this fragrance, it smells so good I just want to bathe in it. It is just absolutely incredible. So let's go ahead and get into the notes here. You guys know I don't always get into notes. Newer fragrance, let's just go ahead and break it down. So the top, we got bergamot, mandarin, grapefruit, sea breeze, armoise or armoise, pretty sure I said that wrong, basil, blue chamomile, cashmere wood, which is very interesting, we'll get to that later, patchouli, vanilla, musk, and amber. So with these opening notes, you're obviously going to get a very, very juicy fragrance, very much a blue vibe, no pineapple though, and also no sandalwood, which is kind of the mention there of cashmere wood. That's a unique addition. You may see it in other blue fragrances, but two staples for almost every single blue fragrance is pineapple and sandalwood. You almost see that in every single opening of a blue fragrance. Doesn't matter who makes it. That's pretty much always going to be in there. So right off the bat, this struck me as being more of a unique tropical fragrance, and it absolutely was. And guys, after wearing it, very, very interesting. It's much different than Ismar or Octanez, so it's not redundant in the collection. In fact, people who thought Octanez was a tropical smelling fragrance, just wait until you try this. Main differences in this too, doesn't have leather or thyme, which Octanez has both of those. There's a lot different notes than that, but they're the two main ones that stand out to me that make this fragrance a lot different than Octanez. No pineapple, no leather, no thyme. Unbelievably good fragrance. Again, guys, that opening, the basil in here, I don't think I would really pick it up. It's not too green or herbaceous. Same with the blue chamomile. It's not overly floral. There's not really any heavy tea notes. I feel like the basil and the blue chamomile are much more used to kind of transition those top notes into those base notes. And one of the best things about this fragrance is when you first spray it on, you definitely get that blue, juicy, tropical feeling. But the base notes are so prevalent, it adds a different dimension to this fragrance. And you just got to try it to understand what I'm talking about. And hopefully some of my subscribers that have tried this will kind of chime in about that, because there is really something special going on here in this fragrance, especially with the base notes and how they kind of make themselves present from the very first spray without ruining the introduction of the top and the middle notes. So unbelievable stuff, guys. The fragrance, there's a lot of things that I could say about this and go on and on for 20 minutes, but it is absolutely incredible. It's unique. It's tropical without feeling forced or synthetic. It smells very natural, very easy to wear, while also maintaining those mass appealing but very unique qualities. You know, in the air, I don't think you would confuse this scent with another scent. You know, it is very much its own sort of thing. Best way I can describe it, and growing up in Florida, you know, my view of this is going to be different than some other people, but it really smells like when you're walking down a beach, you know, a very fancy hotel. You got people drinking, you know, high-end mocktails or cocktails, the tropical fruity ones, and then you have a little bit of that hint of that marine breeze with a little bit of like high-end sunblock at the same time, like that marine type of sunblock type of smell without being overly heavy, nothing offensive. I probably opened this cap 10 times during this video because I can't stop smelling it. And I'm wearing the fragrance now, but just those opening notes, I'll spray a little bit on here. You guys just got to try it. I don't know what to say. Like it is really that good. Well worth the money. Retail pricing for them. Unique Luxury has always been, in my opinion, one of the best values in niche perfumery. When you look at the oil concentration, the packaging, the customer service, the juice in the bottle, just the entire deal together that you get for what they charge retail is very far and above a lot of other companies in terms of what you are getting. And there's not much of a secret as to why this has become such a popular house, at least in the niche community. Of course, that's a relevant term, but at least in the niche community, I know it's gotten a lot of love and a lot of respect. And I think people appreciate that. At the end of the day, people want good value for money, and they want somebody making a product that is passionate and that cares about it, and is not just somebody that's out to make a business out of it, even though, of course, that's part of it. You know, you have to have a good business structure in order to sustain yourself and make these types of fragrance and logistically make it work. But at the end of the day, I feel like, especially with this brand, you get the idea that the people making this fragrances at the team, Unique Luxury, along with Sir Hot, they're people that wear fragrances. They're people that really care about what they do. And I also think that their scheduled releases show that as well. You know, they're not some house that cranks out 5 or 6 fragrances a year, 7, 8 fragrances a year. They are truly a niche house, and I really appreciate them for that. And this fragrance for me, even though I've only worn it 2 times, for me, guys, this is definitely going to be one of those fragrances that it's at least in my top 5 blue fragrances in my collection. It really is that good. Again, those top notes, very, very citrus, tropical, without feeling forced or unnatural. A little sea breeze. Again, the basil, the blue chamomile, I don't know if you'd really pick that up that much unless you read it in the box. It's really more used to kind of blend the fragrance. And I don't know if it'd be the same without it either, because it really does a good job of helping those top notes transition down into the base notes. And it is just an absolutely incredible fragrance. Not to cause a buying panic, you guys don't see any links in the description. I don't get anything out of telling you to purchase these fragrances. No kickbacks whatsoever. But I don't know what the logistics are and what the availability of this is in terms of how much stock they have in the United States. So if you are interested in this fragrance and you really want it for spring or summer, I would head over to Unique Luxury's website right now and just buy it direct. Again, I don't get anything out of it, but if you are concerned about maybe it going out of stock before you have a chance to try it, just go buy it. It really is that good if you enjoy blue fragrances. And I think part of what makes it so good is that it is mass appealing, but it is still its own unique fragrance, which is something that I completely respect about it. It is very difficult to make blue fragrances stand apart. You know, so many of them, they use a lot of common ingredients. Let's just call it what it is. The blue fragrance category in general, there are a lot of common notes when you look across the whole spectrum of what every single company is using. And this one, along with a few others from other houses, I won't name them because of course this video is about Unique Luxury. But this is a fragrance, when you look at the notes, you smell it on skin, there is something special about it and there is something different about it. And I really hope you guys get a chance to try it. It is an amazing fragrance, and I look forward to seeing you soon.